Hey y'all, this is Jamie. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am going to be testing out and reviewing the new Hipdot collaboration with Girl Scouts. But before we get into that, question of the day: what is your favorite Girl Scout cookie? Let me know in the comments down below, and let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so Hipdot is a brand that I had never really heard of, but I was on Instagram the other day and I forgot, I think it was Trendstopia, had a post saying that they had come out with a Girl Scout collection. And so I went on their website and it looks like they do collaborations quite a bit. They have a Girl Scout collection, they have a couple Noodles collaboration, they have MCR, My Chemical Romance, they have a collection and a collab with them. JoJo Siwa, Rugrats, Addams Family, Clueless, Hello Kitty, Kesha, Peeps, Reese's, SpongeBob. So it looks like they do a lot of collaboration collections. So this is their newest one. This is the Girl Scouts collection. So I did not get the full collection. The full collection included 3 products. It included the Thin Mints pigment palette, the Coconut Caramel pigment palette, as well as the lip set. I did not get the Coconut Caramel palette. Sorry, I'm used to calling them Samoas, so I'm having a hard time. Coconut Caramel. I did not get that one. The color story just didn't really appeal to me. They weren't really colors that I wear often. So instead of getting the collector's box, which is $84, I just decided to get the Thin Mints palette as well as the lip set, which comes up to about $36, which makes me very confused, because each one is $16, so $36 plus 16 is less than $84. So are you paying $84? Oh, okay, so the collector's box also comes with 2 brushes. I got really confused because I'm like, that math doesn't math. There's also a Girl Scout brush set as well in the collector's box. So let's go ahead and get into this. Same as my normal review videos, product details, application, pros and cons, final rating. That will be the order of events today. So let's go ahead and talk about each product. All right, so the first product that I have today is the Girl Scout Thin Mints Pigment Palette. This is kind of what made me want to get the set, because as y'all know, if you've been watching my channel, I love a good green eyeshadow, and I love a green color palette. I love kind of like the army like camo colors, even though I do not like camo. I like kind of those colors like the browns, the greens, the taupes. So this palette right here has 6 shadows. It has 5 matte shades and 1 shimmer shade. So these are full of nudes, browns, and taupes with a little bit of green up here. But let's go ahead and get into the swatches for this palette. We have the shades Mint, which is a matte muted mint green, Sister, which is a matte Girl Scout green, Leader, which is a matte khaki, Changemaker, which is a shimmer deep gold, Friend, which is a matte warm light brown, and then Chocolate, which is a matte cocoa brown. So this palette right here, which as I said has 6 shades, 5 mattes, 1 shimmer, it is $16 on its own. So before we get into the actual application of this palette, we'll go ahead and talk about the other palette that comes in the collection, or the other palette that you can get on its own, which is the what is it called? The Coconut Caramel palette. Say down below, what do you know it as? Coconut Caramel or Samoas? I know them as Samoas, but I know like in South Carolina, I thought they were called like Caramel Delights or something like that. But this palette right here, I decided not to get it because these aren't really colors that I tend to wear. So this one includes like purples, pinks, grays, blacks. Unlike the Thin Mint palette, which has 1 shimmer shade, this one actually doesn't have any shimmer shade, so it is all mattes. And that one is also $16 on its own. But like I said, you can get the full collector's box, which includes the 2 eyeshadow palettes, the lip kit, and 2 brushes for $84. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the pros and cons and give my rating for this product before we move on to the lip kit. So pros and cons of the palette. Cons first. Con number one, this did have quite a bit of kick up in the palette. Honestly, that's the only con I have for this palette though. Moving on to pros. Pro number one, I love the ratio of mattes to shimmers. So if y'all have been watching my channel for a while, you also know I much prefer for there to be a whole bunch of mattes and just a few shimmers. I think there are more things that you can do and more looks that you can create when you have more matte shades. Pro number two was the color payoff with the shade, what was it? Friend. Loved the color payoff, so you don't need to use as much product, so your product lasts longer. And then that leads to pro number three, it is also very blendable. I was noticing with that first shade, it didn't take me any time to blend that out. With the second shade, the green and brown mixture, it did take a little bit longer to blend that out on this eye. It didn't take any time at all on this eye. And I also feel like sometimes when you mix two shades, it does sometimes take a little bit longer to blend them. And then finally, the last pro is the mirror. So I do like there is a sizable mirror, so it is definitely portable. Love that, and I love the packaging. It's super cute, very Girl Scouts. All right, so moving on to the next product, I'm gonna save my rating for that one until the very end. Moving on to the next product, which is the lip set. This is the Girl Scout lip set. It is $20 and it includes 3 lightly scented lipsticks infused with coconut oil, argan oil, and vitamin E. So we have 3 different shades for 3 different cookies, and 2 out of these 3 shades are 2 of my favorite cookies. Samoas are my favorite, which this is called coconut caramel, but Samoas are my favorites. I also love Thin Mints. I also love Savannah Smiles. I love those. Those are the little lemon cookies that are like covered in powdered sugar. These are supposed to be creamy. They are lightly scented, which I didn't notice until I was taking notes. Like I had already applied everything and done my lip swatches and all, and I was looking at the product details online and it said lightly scented, and I'm like, I don't think I noticed that. Ah, it is! This does smell slightly lemony. Let's see if the Thin Mint one smells like mint chocolate. Not really. I mean, I think there's like a slight sweet smell. Yeah, very lightly scented. I would say that the Thin Mint and the Samoa ones smell very similar. The lemon one does actually smell like lemon though. So let's go ahead and go into the lip swatches. So pros and cons of the lip set. So con number one is that these are a little bit drying. They're not as creamy as a lot of other lipsticks that I've tried. I feel like this is almost like a matte lipstick, but it didn't say the word matte at all in the description. In fact, the one word that it did use to describe a possible finish is it said these were creamy lipsticks. They're like, I feel like they are very dry. Not very dry, but it is like dried down on my lips. And it's not completely transfer proof, but I mean, it's not bad. I almost feel like this should have been called like a matte lipstick, but it is a little bit drying, and I feel like it was drying while trying to apply. So it did kind of drag on my lips a little bit as I was trying to apply it. Con number two, the lighter shades, definitely the lemon one especially, was a little uneven in the application. It wasn't quite as opaque as some of the darker colors, so I had to go over it quite a few more times than I did with the darker colors. All right, and then pro number one, I actually really love the packaging. Not only like what actually is visually on the packaging, the cookies and the colors and all of that, which I think is so on par. Like they did great with the packaging for Girl Scout cookies. I love that. But the actual component I really like. This is just like cardboard right here. This is plastic, but this is just cardboard right here, and there's just, I don't know, there's something satisfying about it. I don't know. Like, I really don't know how to explain what I like about this, but I do like the cardboard packaging. I like the packaging. It's very aesthetically pleasing to me. And then pro number 2, these are all very wearable colors. The lemon one is not quite my shade, but I feel like it would look really good on somebody. I think it would look really good on somebody who is lighter skinned than me, as well as somebody who is darker skinned than me. These are all very wearable colors. And then pro number 3 is that you can use these without a liner. I didn't use a liner at all. I think a liner wouldn't hurt, but if you don't have a liner for these, if you don't want to take the time to put on a liner before using these, you don't necessarily need them. They do look great just on their own without a liner. All right, so final ratings for both the Thin Mints Pigment Palette as well as the lip set. So for the palette, based on my pros and my cons, I'm actually gonna give this, I'm gonna give this 5 sunflowers. I absolutely love it. I love the color story. I love the color payoff. I love it. This is kind of my perfect palette, if I'm being honest. And as far as the lip set, I think I'm gonna give this 4 sunflowers. I definitely liked the palette more than I did the lip product, but I still liked it. I still probably think that I will use some of these shades, especially this one, which I didn't mention. The one that I have on right now is the Thin Mints one. And then it's a little more drying than I like from my lipsticks, but I do also feel like this is the kind of lipstick that you can wear out and about throughout the day. You can, you know, drink, you can eat, and it wouldn't go everywhere. So yeah, I'll give it a 4. Alright, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload every Tuesday and Thursday. Give this a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Don't forget to answer question of the day. What is your favorite Girl Scout cookie? Down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.